Buckle up for a political thriller straight out of California's sun-soaked chaos, where the streets of Los Angeles burn with unrest and courtrooms ignite with high-stakes drama. What if I told you a progressive judge just dropped a bombshell, siding with Donald Trump to keep over 300 National Guard troops patrolling LA's volatile streets? This isn't just news, it's a devastating gut punch to Governor Gavin Newsom, whose White House dreams are unraveling faster than a Hollywood plot twist. Join me as we dive into this electrifying saga of power, betrayal, and a public fed up with empty promises. If you've ever wondered how one man's ambition could spark a rebellion or why voters are rejecting flashy politics, this story will glue you to your seat until the final frame. Let's rewind to the spark that lit this wildfire. Earlier this year, Los Angeles plunged into anarchy. Riots erupted, buildings blazed, and law enforcement buckled under the pressure. Governor Newsom and the city's mayor stood frozen, unable to tame the spiraling violence. Enter President Trump, with the audacity to act fast, deploying the National Guard to restore calm. Newsom didn't just push back, he exploded, accusing Trump of stealing 2,000 of California's Guard members without a nod from local leaders. In a fiery tirade, he slammed the use of tear gas, flashbangs, and rubber bullets to quell the chaos, branding it a dangerous overreach that put lives in peril. He dragged Trump to court, casting himself as California's fearless protector against federal tyranny. But the courts had a plot twist in store. In a stunning turn, a left-leaning California Supreme Court judge handed Trump a victory that left jaws on the floor. The ruling? Those 300 troops already in place can stay, locked and loaded to keep the peace. Why did Newsom's version of the story bury this game-changing detail? It flips the entire narrative. This isn't just a win for Trump. It's a public smackdown of Newsom's leadership. Let's be real. If Newsom had stepped up, quashed the riots, protected businesses, kept streets safe, Trump wouldn't have had to play cleanup. It's leadership 101, but Sacramento seems to have skipped that class. This courtroom loss is just the latest in a string of embarrassing defeats for Newsom, who's got his eyes laser-focused on a 2028 presidential run. By sparring with Trump, he's trying to dazzle Democrats and strut on the world stage, but it's crashing harder than a bad blockbuster. Trump's legal wins keep piling up, making Newsom look like an amateur playing out of his league. Californians are waking up, and they're not impressed. Polls show voters grilling his motives. Why burn cash on lawsuits when crime, homelessness, and economic struggles choke the state? With the National Guard issue settled for now, the spotlight swings to Newsom's next gamble. Proposition 50, his controversial redistricting plan hitting the November ballot. Let's zoom in on this redistricting showdown. It's a political cage match. Newsom wants to redraw California's electoral maps, a move critics slam as a naked power grab. California Republicans are fighting back, filing an emergency petition with the state Supreme Court, calling it flat-out unconstitutional. They argue it dodges the required 30-day public review for new laws and guts the voter-backed independent redistricting commission, meant to keep things fair. Newsom's plan could stack the deck for Democrats, handing them more seats. But voters aren't biting. Polls show most Californians reject Proposition 50, sniffing out the shady reasons behind it. With 40 million mail-in ballots flooding the state and spotty verification, whispers of voter integrity issues are getting louder. I won't wade into that swamp, but Newsom's rolling the dice and the House doesn't look friendly. One Republican firebrand vowed, "I'll battle this with every fiber of my being. Every rule they bend, every constitutional line they cross, will haul them to court." And they've got backup. Voters are done. If Proposition 50 tanks in November, it could incinerate Newsom's 2028 hopes before they even spark. Imagine the optics. A governor rejected by his own state, pitching himself as America's savior. It's a tough sell, and with more legal fights looming before the holidays, Newsom's walking a razor's edge. This all ties into a seismic shift sweeping California and beyond. People are over policies that let illegal immigrants swamp cities, drain resources, and threaten safety. They're fed up with dodging danger on their streets, with ballots under suspicion, with leaders who chase headlines over solutions. That's why Trump roared back into power. Voters shouted, "Enough!" As order returns under his watch, the contrast is blinding. For Newsom, dreaming of 2028, it's a political horror show. Trump's successor could point to this era and say, "Look how strong we are. Let's keep it rolling." Or do you want a sequel to the Biden chaos, supersized by Newsom? Spoiler alert, nobody's buying tickets. Newsom acts like the Democratic nomination is his destiny. But let's talk about how the party really rolls. Flashback to 2024, Kamala Harris nabbed the nomination after Biden bowed out, without a single primary vote. Or remember RFK Jr., outpolling Biden but blocked when the DNC killed debates. They did the same to Bernie Sanders in 2016 to crown Hillary Clinton. Newsom's bidding the party machine will anoint him, hoping loud clashes with Trump will seal it. But his court flops aren't winning fans. His approval ratings are nosediving, and Californians already try to recall him. The Democratic bench is thinner than a dime, and if he's banking on party favors, he's in for a shock. And don't miss Trump's latest knockout. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, a liberal bastion, unanimously backed him on the National Guard call. Citing U.S. Code 10, they confirmed the president's power when local forces can't cut it. This isn't just a win. It's a wake-up call to governors like Newsom. Handle crime, or the feds will legally. Trump's schooling Democrats in court like it's his day job. And with Newsom's habit of bending laws, this streak will likely hold until he's out. Californians, your liberation is on the horizon. So what's the real story? It's not just about troops or maps. It's about who fights for the people versus who chases glory. Trump's wins prove the courts are holding the line, while Newsom's fumbles expose a governor addicted to the spotlight. As voters